Update. Am I the a-hole for not going to the wedding of my dad and his affair partner? Original post. When I was 17, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. 2 years later, she passed away. During those 2 years, my dad was not around much. He was always working and going on business trips. My aunt and grandma took care of my mom. About 5 months after my mother's passing, my dad introduced me to his new girlfriend. I was angry. I yelled at him for how quickly he moved on from my mom, when they then decided to tell me they had been in a relationship for 3 years. My dad had been cheating on my mom while she was dying. His business trips were to meet his affair partner. I was so angry, I packed my stuff and left his house. I haven't spoken to him since that day. Currently, I am 25. The only family I speak to is an aunt who helped me when I left my dad's house. A few days ago, my aunt called me, asked me how I was, and then asked me if I had heard from Dad. I said, why would I hear from him again? My aunt said Dad is getting married to his affair partner, and by going to his wedding, it would help mend our relationship. I said, why would I do that? He is dead to me. There was a silence on the phone for a bit before my dad replied, asking if that was what I felt about him. I immediately cut the call when I heard his voice. I realized he was with my aunt when she made the call to me. I texted my aunt telling her I asked her not to tell Dad anything about me, and she had agreed back then. She texted me back saying I was an a-hole for saying what I said, that my dad is crushed hearing that, and that I should move on by now. I did not want to argue with someone who helped me, so I blocked her. Over the next 2 days, I received a wedding invitation in my mailbox. The only person in the family who knew my address was my aunt. She also gave my number to various members of the family. I am being bombarded with calls and texts from Dad, uncles, cousins, aunts, saying I should give him a chance and come to the wedding. Some are calling me names for saying what I said. I got a text from the affair partner saying my dad is thinking of postponing the wedding and I should just talk to him. For context, the affair partner was a friend of my mom and knew she had cancer. I said it's not my fault if he postpones the wedding. I don't want to have a relationship with Dad or her. They are trying to force it. It got quiet after that, but being told by so many people from my dad's side that I am an a-hole did leave me conflicted. But I am sticking to my guns. So am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. Your dad cheated on your mom while she was dying, and now the whole family is upset you've calmly expressed how you feel about it by A. Cutting your dad out, and B. Not attending the wedding. Your aunt also violated your trust by giving your contact information out without your consent. I'd say cut the whole family out at this point. That certainly would be the mature response. It is much kinder than going to the wedding. And when they ask if anyone objects, calmly explaining why you object to their behavior. OP, there is no statute of limitations on feelings. You are allowed to decide how you feel for as long as you want to feel that way. Not the a-hole. Tell your father you are treating him like he treated your dying mother. Block everyone who tries to tell you how to feel. Move on and don't look back. Yup, that's what I'm doing. Not the a-hole. Change your number. If you can move without telling anyone, do it, because they're going to show up in person to confront you next. Get some security cameras in case someone tries to go nuts or force their way into your home. They're all horrible people. Your dad and his AP are the worst. Both were close to your mom and did this to her. Ask the affair partner what she would do if she got cancer and he did the same to her. Actually, don't bother. Don't engage any of them. Don't feel guilty. You're doing the right thing. Stand up for yourself. Everyone here supports you. Thank you. I am in the process of changing my number and updating contacts. As for where I live, it's a pretty secure apartment. You can only come in after me or someone buzz you in. Then you have to write down your name with security and the elevator works with a key fob only. I am hoping that I don't have to move, but keeping my options open if it escalates. Honestly, I'm smelling a catch from this. Why now? Why does it take him 6 years to suddenly, desperately want to mend the relationship? Either way, it's not your problem, and I hope you ditch this whole nasty family. You deserve better. Actually, I thought about this too, and I think you may be right because I got some texts like, It's a son's duty to take care of his father, and your future kids would want their grandfather in their life. Now for the first update. First, I want to thank all who commented on the first post and everyone who messaged me. It really helped me stick with my decision to not go to the wedding. I wanted to update earlier, but it's been pretty hectic with work. So, after the many texts and calls from multiple family members, I sent a text to all the numbers detailing what Dad did and why I chose to be no contact with him. I then blocked all the numbers. I have changed my number, but kept the old number in a separate phone to collect evidence if they start to harass me from random numbers. But luckily, nothing happened, and I thought that was that. A week or so after that, my aunt's fiancé came to my apartment. He knows what time I get off work and was waiting for me in the parking lot. I was apprehensive, but he assured me he only wanted to talk. According to him, the text I sent caused a crap storm in the family. He told me that some of the cousins who didn't know what happened in the past started to question Dad and the affair partner, and they started to get defensive and deny it. But someone revealed that it was true. This caused a massive argument within the family, with some cousins pulling out of the wedding. Dad wanted to postpone the wedding so he could talk to me, but the affair partner threatened to leave him if he did that. The news of what Dad and the affair partner did also reached some of their friends, who were at one point also friends of my mom. Some of them have also pulled out of the wedding, and this caused the affair partner to have a breakdown. She started banning anyone who brought it up, including family members, from the wedding. According to my aunt's fiancé, she is blaming all of this on me, saying I did this intentionally. I laughed at that. The wedding is still somehow happening. I asked him about my aunt and how all this started, and he said all he knows is that there was a conversation about how bad the family would look if I wasn't at the wedding, and that my aunt offered to call me. He said he disagreed, but she did it anyway. He said he came only because he felt I needed to know what happened. I thanked him but told him I would be going completely no contact with her, and by extension him as well. He agreed, wished me well, and left. I'm not going to lie and say I'm completely okay. I miss my aunt, I miss my mom, but I know what I did was the right thing. I am currently staying with my girlfriend, and she's been cheering me up by coming up with absurd ways to ruin the wedding. As a lot of you said, I should try therapy, and I'm going to take that advice. Some of the comments made me realize that I have bottled up a lot of grief and anger. I'm super nervous about it, but I also feel it'll do me good. So once again, thank you for all your comments and advice. Ciao. Not the a-hole. She has been cheering me up by coming up with absurd ways to ruin the wedding. I can't think of anything that has been more effective than your going public in the way that you did. Eventually, things will calm down. You might consider reaching out to the family. Once they knew what had happened, defended your choice of not going to the wedding. They're the ones who sought out the truth and remained loyal to you. Honestly, I want to know what some of these ideas are. One last nail in the coffin would be nice. Here's an idea. OP could show up to the wedding and object to it. Use the nasty details of the affair to make the case. It'd be perfect. Hopefully they are just having fun making up fantasy scenarios. OP should be a million miles from that wedding and just let it ruin itself. LMFAO, it is ironic how she blames this on you. Lol honey, if you didn't want people to find out about you, shouldn't have had an affair with a married man. It is as simple as that, but people like her are just dumb and delusional. I hope you have a nice life with your girlfriend. Right? All OP did was tell the truth. If a description of your actions makes you look bad, that's on you. Second update a year later. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I logged in today and saw a lot of messages asking me what happened and how I'm doing. I wasn't sure if I should write this or if anyone would even see it, because I don't know if I am doing it right, but here it goes. For everyone asking what happened at the wedding, I don't know much. All I know is that they got married. No one from that family has contacted me since then, and I didn't go asking around either. I am at peace with it. As for me, things are different now. First, I want to thank everyone who reached out and asked how I've been holding up. Your kindness means more than I can put into words. I'm getting better, slowly, though the journey hasn't been easy. A lot has changed since my last update. I'm single now and have moved to a new city. My ex, who I'll call Mia, and I separated about 4 months after my last post. We celebrated 2 years together in March and talked about our future. But I was a mess. Therapy started well, but I quickly realized just how many unresolved issues I had bottled up from losing my mom. I was struggling emotionally, crying at random, worrying about some messed up thoughts that I might somehow turn into my dad, and spiraling with fears I couldn't control. Mia had dreams of marriage and kids, and I knew I wasn't in the right place to give her the future she deserved. It would have been very selfish of me to ask her to stay until I got better. We had a long, honest talk, lots of tears, and ultimately decided to part ways. It wasn't easy, but it was the best decision for both of us. Mia and I still cared for each other deeply, and she, along with my friends, checked on me every day after the breakup. I wasn't left to face things alone, and for that, I'm so grateful. In July, I was offered the chance to move to the head office of my company in another city. After discussing it with my therapist, I decided it would be a good opportunity to change my surroundings and start fresh. In September, I made the move. My best friend used 25 days of his 30-day holiday to help me pack, move, and settle in. I can't overstate how much that meant to me. I have incredible friends. Since then, I've been taking things one day at a time. The new office has been amazing. Everyone was so welcoming, which was a big relief since I'd been anxious about starting over somewhere new. I now attend online therapy sessions twice a week and grief counseling in person here. It's been helping a lot. I'm in a much better headspace than I was before, though I still don't feel ready to date again. For now, I'm focusing on my career and on continuing to heal. Once again, thank you to everyone who has supported me, whether through messages or just by caring enough to check in. It means the world. Poor OP got understandably messed up over his father's idiotic decisions. Glad to hear he's doing better. That whole family has some idiotic ideas. OP was told that it's his duty to take care of his father, and future kids would want their grandfather in their life. But this reasoning does not apply to the father, who made a marital oath to take care of his wife, and who was also gone on business trips with a fair partner and absent from his own teenage son's life. That's some kind of disconnected BS. I'm so glad OP is doing well, though I was really sad reading the part about them and Mia breaking up. It sounds like they were all mature about it though, and it's good to hear that OP is making progress in therapy. Screw the dad and a fair partner though. A fair partner had better hope she never gets cancer or any other serious illness because she knows exactly what her precious new husband will do about it. Find himself a replacement and start taking long business trips. Also, he doesn't have to wash his own socks or spend a moment single. Such a shame for OP and for Mia, who sounded like a really good person. Last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my future in-laws make a speech at my wedding after they tried to talk my fiancé out of marrying me? I recently got married, and while the day was beautiful and full of love, getting there wasn't exactly smooth sailing, especially when it came to my in-laws. My husband and I had been together for 4 years before tying the knot. He's my favorite person in the world, and we've been through a lot together. Job changes, health scares, even a stretch of long distance. But we always came out stronger. The only real sore spot in our relationship had been his parents. They were never openly rude, but it was clear they didn't like me. His mom had mastered the art of passive-aggressive comments, and his dad was the type who'd smile while slipping in a dig like, "You must be pretty persuasive if you got our son to put up with a dog in the house. We have two." It was constant subtle messaging that they didn't see me as wife material. The real blow came about 6 months before the wedding. My husband sat me down and told me his parents had tried to talk him out of marrying me. Not once, but twice. Once during a dinner at their house, and again over a phone call. They said I was too emotional, not raised like them, and a bad match for their son. His mom even said she felt I was beneath his potential. To his credit, he shut it down both times. He told them he loved me, that they were being incredibly disrespectful, and that the wedding was happening, with or without their blessing. As the wedding got closer and we started finalizing the ceremony and speeches, his parents said they were preparing a short, heartfelt toast for the reception. I told my husband I wasn't comfortable with that. Why hand a microphone to two people who had literally tried to sabotage our relationship? Any kind words from them would have either been fake or laced with subtle shade. He was surprised, but said he understood where I was coming from. He hoped it could be a turning point for them to show support publicly, maybe even begin to heal things. I told him if they wanted to show change, they could do it privately, a conversation, a letter, something before the wedding. I wasn't going to risk our day turning awkward or petty. He agreed to respect my decision, but I could tell he was hurt. Some of our closest friends told me I was being too cold, and that refusing the toast would just make things worse in the long run. His parents, of course, were offended and called me controlling. After that, my husband had a final conversation with them. He told them, calmly but firmly, that they would not be giving a speech, and why. He made it clear that trying to undermine our relationship and never apologizing for it disqualified them from being honored in that way. They didn't take it well. His mom cried and called me divisive, and his dad accused me of ruining family traditions. They didn't try to make amends or have a real conversation after that, so we left it there. Then came the wedding day, and to my surprise, they actually behaved. No snide remarks, no drama. They smiled for photos, clapped at the right moments, and made it through dinner without issue. I started to think maybe, just maybe, we'd gotten through to them. But then came the reception. We had an open mic portion planned, just for a few pre-approved friends to share lighthearted stories. In the middle of it, I saw his dad get up, walk over to the DJ, and try to take the mic. I panicked, but our DJ was incredible. He shut it down politely, told him the mic was closed, and escorted him away from the stage. Later, I found out my best friend had warned the DJ ahead of time, just in case. He had our backs 100%. Afterward, my husband pulled his dad aside and gave him one final warning. We're adults, we're married, and if they couldn't respect our boundaries, they'd be seeing a lot less of us. Since then, his parents have been distant. No calls, no texts, no apology. And honestly, that's fine. I'm not going to chase after people who never wanted to accept me in the first place. I married the love of my life. Our wedding was everything I dreamed of. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like we're truly on the same page, as a team. That story was really great, especially for me since I have had people who were backstabbers. I kind of knew it, but tried to be nice and got stabbed. Good on you for sticking to your guns. Like the little boy who farted in church, they get to sit in their own pew now. Much happiness to you and your new hubby. Maybe someday, especially if grandkids are incoming, they will rethink their crappy behavior and give a heartfelt apology for their untoward mean attitude toward you. Control freak parents suck. It would be interesting to have heard what your father-in-law was planning on saying, but it must have been priceless to see him escorted away from the mic and not get a chance to say anything mean or left-handed about you and his son's marriage. My guess is that they were being nice at the wedding to give him a chance to do it. You nipped it in the bud. So lucky with my hubby, but not much with my in-laws. Not the a-hole. You know you made the right decision when they didn't immediately attempt to apologize to you and make up for their BS when told they were not getting speeches. I think the reality is you gave your husband the strength to have a backbone, and ultimately, that is why they don't like you. He has something worth fighting for, and they no longer have control over him, hence why they wanted you gone.